Welcome to Honestly Becoming. I'm your host, Mary Angelica, and this is your daily 5-minute podcast focused on mindset, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. Be ready for mindset shifts and powerful questions to help you uncover the version of yourself that is most authentic, successful, and honest, so that you can get closer to that version 5 minutes at a time. Let's create your most successful and fulfilling life. Tune in every day to start honestly becoming the best version of yourself.
Who is somebody that you really look up to, but you're totally scared to ask to be a part of their life? Whether it's to talk to them, to message them, to meet up with them, depending on where you are and who this person is to you. Who is someone that you really look up to and admire? And what is something that is blocking you from reaching out to this person or reaching out in the way that you really want to? As an example, there are many people in the business space that I look up to and admire. One of them, for example, for me is Rachel Rogers. She is a mentor and someone that I am part of all of her coaching things because I am just obsessed with the way that she does business. And I love her personality, the way she comes across. Her values are very in line with mine. And we have enough of a similar upbringing or past that I feel a lot of relationship bonds already forming just in knowing her story. Now, she knows maybe a little bit of who I am, right? I've spoken at her event in Puerto Rico, and that was a huge deal. I've had a couple moments where I've spoken to her directly. She's asked me to be on a panel. We did an interview. A couple of enough things that I'm like, okay, she knows my name, right? And that's kind of where I feel like I am, right, with Rachel Rogers. But what is really a belief that is blocking me thinking that it could ever be more? What is blocking me from really believing that maybe at some point we could be friends? And it sounds crazy to say out loud, right? Because this is someone that I admire and I really look up to. And in my mind, I have put them on this pedestal. And they are on a different level than me. They are completely so separate, so far from me that it feels like, why would they ever bother? What kind of value could I bring to someone like Rachel? And I know it sounds crazy to say, but we all have had thoughts like this. You may have a friend, or maybe it's a close family member, or maybe it is someone that you admire that's pretty, popular or famous or successful out there that you're like, yeah, I could never really get in contact with them, or I'm never gonna really, talk to them, or they're never gonna know who I am. But what is that belief that is blocking you from maybe even expecting that could happen someday? I wonder if you might uncover something that you're not allowing yourself to fully embody or believe about yourself that is creating this blockage. For me personally in my own life, it has been this idea of what is my value and what is my worth to others. And so when I think about creating any type of a friendship, with someone like Rachel Rogers, my first idea or my first blockage has always been, but why would they care, and what would make me be worthy of that relationship, right? And that's where I have found the most learning and the most understanding of how I put myself in a position that is completely separate. I put myself not so much like I'm putting them much higher, I'm putting myself much lower than I truly am, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all people, right? We're all the same on some level. So why have I put myself in such a dramatic distance from someone that I admire? What do I have to learn about myself and how I see myself to change that? So that maybe one day it might not be so crazy for Rachel to message me and say, hey, how's your week been? Hey, what are you doing on Friday? Hey, how are the kids doing? What if I could get to that place by just changing the way that I see myself? Because changing my identity or the way that I see myself could be everything that needs to happen for me to be able to show up in a way where I don't look and see myself as someone that is less than or not worthy of. And this might be something you need to hear for yourself too. How are you shrinking yourself? How are you making yourself smaller than the people you admire? It's a hard question because often we think, no, I'm putting them way up there. They're like this super famous person in my industry and, they'll never really like take 2 seconds to know who I am. But does that mean that you have actually put yourself much lower? You've like shrunken yourself down and you don't see the value that you provide just as being who you are. Because when you think about any other friend in your life, do you think that they're out there thinking, what value do I get from this person? Do you think that they think, what value do I get from Mary Angelica? Is she worthy of keeping in my life? Am I getting enough value from her? Or is it just that they enjoy my company? They enjoy being around me? And they enjoy my energy? Could that be enough? Could being me be enough? Could you just being you be enough? I leave you with these thoughts today. Carry them today and see what comes up for you.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a review. It helps the podcast be found by more people like you so they too can join us every day. Find me on Instagram at honest.ceo and feel free to share a screenshot of the podcast and tag me so I can see you and say thanks. Visit honestceo.co/calendar to get your free affirmation and manifestation prompt calendar in your inbox on the 1st of every month. Thanks again and stay honest.